This was the day the script was thrown out the window, the day the giants of world football stood still. Forget the predictions. Forget the rankings. The 2026 World Cup is barely a few days old, and we have already witnessed a seismic shockwave that has completely torn the fabric of the tournament wide open. We talk about the group of death. Today, we saw the day of the underdog. From the humid heat of Atlanta to the star-studded lights of Los Angeles, the world witnessed the beautiful, chaotic, and utterly unpredictable nature of this sport. It was a day where a tiny island nation held a world superpower, where the Pharaohs rose up to meet the Red Devils, where a late goal in Miami saved a favorite from humiliation. And then, it ended with a wild, breathless battle in LA that left the Persian powerhouse holding on for dear life against the All-Whites. Welcome to the World Cup teams. Fasten your seatbelts. When the fixtures were announced, pundits looked at Monday's schedule and saw a day of routine wins for the big boys, a chance for the favorites to flex their muscles and send a message to the rest of the world. They looked at Spain, Belgium, and Uruguay and saw three convincing victories. They were wrong, dead wrong. Instead, we got chaos, we got history, and we got a whole lot of drama that has completely reset the expectations for Groups G and H. Let's set the scene. We had 4 matches spanning 4 different states. It began in the East, with a result that sent a shockwave across the Atlantic. The World Cup debutants, Cape Verde, stepped onto the pitch in Atlanta to face the mighty Spain. This is a nation playing in its first-ever World Cup. They were facing a team that has dominated possession and won tournaments for decades. No one gave them a chance, but the Blue Sharks, they have bite. They held Spain to a stunning scoreless draw, 0 goals conceded against one of the most technically gifted teams on the planet. That isn't just a point. That is a legacy moment for Cape Verde. But the chaos didn't stop there. Fast forward to Seattle, where Egypt faced Belgium. The Red Devils, brimming with stars, looked to build momentum. But the Pharaohs had other plans. They refused to be bullied. In a game that ebbed and flowed, Egypt matched Belgium blow for blow, eventually securing a 1-1 draw that left the Belgian camp stunned. Then, the drama shifted to Miami. Saudi Arabia, fresh off a historic win against Argentina in Qatar 2022, proved they are no longer just one-hit wonders. Abdullah Al-Amri silenced the Uruguayan fans with a first-half screamer that looked like it might just be enough for the win. But the drama intensified when Maxi Araujo slammed home an 80-minute equalizer to rescue a 1-1 draw for Uruguay. The underdogs had bared their teeth, and the favorites were running scared. But the best was yet to come. That brings us to the finale. Los Angeles, Iran versus New Zealand. This game, however, had a weight to it that went far beyond the pitch. Iran was forced to relocate its World Cup base camp. An unprecedented move. They were shifted from Arizona all the way to Tijuana, Mexico, adding a layer of logistical and psychological stress that no team should have to endure at a World Cup. On the other side, you had New Zealand, the all-whites, the scrappy outsiders, looking to make a mark on the world stage. The stakes? Group G is a shark tank. Belgium, Egypt, and now these two. Every point is gold, and from the very first whistle, it was all gas, no brakes. New Zealand struck first. Elijah Just, a name you'll be hearing a lot more of, found the net early to send the Kiwi fans into a frenzy. It was a sucker punch to Iran, a team already dealing with upheaval. But Iran, they have a core of steel. Just like their defensive organization, they didn't panic. They weathered the storm, regrouped, and patiently worked their way back into the game. Before the halftime whistle could blow, they had clawed their way back. The score was level. 1-1. The tension was palpable. The second half began, and New Zealand came out swinging. Just did it again. A superb solo effort, slicing through the defense, and the All-Whites were up 2-1. It looked like New Zealand were going to steal the show in LA, but this game had a script of its own, a plot twist you could see coming from the fiery looks in the Iranian players' eyes. Just 10 minutes later. 10 minutes. Mohamed Mohebi popped up in the box, and it was 2-2. The energy in the stadium dropped for a moment, replaced by exhaustion. Both teams had thrown everything they had at each other, and neither could find a knockout blow. The final whistle blew, and the result was a 2-2 draw. It was a thriller, a roller coaster, a game that left fans breathless. So, where does that leave us? Let's look at the messy picture in the groups. Group H, Spain, the tournament favorites, on 1 point. Saudi Arabia on 1 point. Uruguay on 1 point. Cape Verde, the underdog, on 1 point. It is mathematically level. Group G, Belgium on 1 point, Egypt on 1 point, Iran on 1 point, New Zealand on 1 point. It's a four-way tie. No team has a lead. No team has separated themselves. This is a nightmare scenario for the big teams and a dream scenario for the minnows. For Spain, it's a crisis. They couldn't score against Cape Verde. For Belgium, it's a wake-up call. They were held by Egypt. For Iran, it's a missed opportunity to capitalize on a game they might have won if they hadn't been so fatigued by the off-field issues. This is the beauty of the World Cup. On paper, the names are supposed to dominate, but on the grass, it's about passion, tactics, and desire. And right now, the underdogs have all three in abundance. Let's break down the key talking points from this wild day. Number 1, the rise of the underdog. We saw it in Qatar, but it's solidifying in 2026. The gap between the elite and the developing nations is shrinking. Cape Verde proved they belong. Saudi Arabia proved their 2022 heroics weren't a fluke. This is the new era of World Cup football, where anyone can beat anyone on their day. Number 2, the weight of expectation. Spain and Belgium are under immense pressure. Playing against a low block is always difficult, but the inability to find the net or kill the game is a huge red flag heading into match day 2. They must find solutions, and fast. Number 3, the human element. And finally, we have to talk about Iran. This isn't just football. Iran was forced to move its base camp. They endured travel disruptions just to get to the game, and they still managed to come back twice in a high-intensity match to earn a point. That's not just football. That's resilience. That is a team fighting for its country. They didn't win, but they showed the heart of a champion. To be displaced, to have your preparation disrupted, and still produce a performance like that against a strong New Zealand side, that deserves respect. And respect to New Zealand. They scored 2 beautiful goals, and they went toe-to-toe with a team that was supposed to be the favorite in this matchup. This group is wide open, and the Kiwis are in the fight. Monday was a statement. It was a warning to every superpower out there. This is the World Cup. The pressure is immense. The stakes are life-changing. And in 2026, no one is safe. We are heading into match day 2 with every group still up for grabs. The giants are wobbling and the underdogs are smelling blood. If you thought the group stages were just a formality, think again. We are witnessing the most unpredictable World Cup in history. It's only the first round of matches, and we already have chaos. I can't wait to see what happens next. So, what did you think of today's results? Is Spain in trouble? Can Cape Verde actually qualify for the knockout stages? And what about that incredible Iran versus New Zealand match? Who was your player of the day? Let me know in the comments below. I'm reading them all. If you enjoyed the breakdown of this wild day, hit that like button to help the algorithm share the chaos with more fans. And if you want to stay up to date with every single goal, upset, and last-minute drama of the 2026 World Cup, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. The road to the final is a marathon, but after today's show, we are in for a sprint. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.